Well, a warm welcome to everyone who's watching today, especially those that are at our campuses. Pitt Meadows campus, good to have you here this last Sunday of the year. And commercial, excited for what God's doing there at our commercial campus. And I know you're finishing strong at the end of the year. And over at Strathcona, huge shout out to you guys at Strathcona as it's the last Sunday there. And we're believing just for great things to happen in our services today. And then, of course, all of you that are watching online, great to have you with us and believing God that He's going to be speaking to you as you watch the message today. Our last message in the series, we've been talking about the carols of Christmas, and today our message is on Emmanuel. It's a song that's been around for a long time. Matter of fact, it may date past the 12th century. That's how old it was. It's based on a Gregorian chant, and they would have these different chants. Choirs would kind of chant back and forth, and this is based on one of those chants. It's an amazing song. We still sing it today, hundreds of years later, and it's been put to music. There are 7 stanzas to O Come All Ye Faithful. We don't sing all 7 stanzas because even for a carol, that would be a long song to sing. The reason there are 7 stanzas, it was designed to be sung 7 days before Christmas, and every stanza would be a reflection of that day leading up to Christmas, and then, of course, finalizing with a great Christmas Day celebration. But it's a great song to reflect on. We'll be talking about the meaning of that song today. Christmas carols are often heard in stores. We hear them in the mall. We hear them on the radio. When Christmas is over, they disappear. But we have this window of time where these Christmas carols are being sung. And they're so rich in meaning. They have such great theology and scriptures. The writers were really reflecting on what Christmas was all about when they wrote them. And so today we want to look at this one, O Come, Emmanuel. Christmas is about God's indescribable gift. I want to start off with a verse out of 2 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse number 15, where it says this: "Thanks be to God for His indescribable gift." And if you're at the campuses there watching this and listening with us, let's read this out loud together. Thanks be to God for His indescribable gift. This gift was indescribable. We can't really put words to it. It's beyond any other gift. God's patience, His love, His gift of His Son for us. A child was given to us. That's an indescribable gift. You can buy some pretty amazing gifts today. And there are wow gifts that are out there. But nothing compares to this indescribable gift of God's Son to us. Somebody sent me a list of some amazing gifts that you can get, and I'll just give you a few of them today. One is you can buy a laptop cover. Here's a beautiful laptop cover, diamond-studded. This is for you. Now, it'd be for very few people. It's kind of hard to describe. Other than that, it's worth $11 million. That's right, $11 million for this wonderful laptop cover. Indescribable? No, you could describe that, but it's way out there. Here's another gift that's just way out there, and this is contact lenses. Yes, contact lenses, $15,000 US for a set. These contact lenses, put them in and your eyes will sparkle. If your eyes don't sparkle, you can see this next picture that her eyes are sparkling with the contact lenses in. There they are, $15,000 for contact lenses. Yeah, that's getting out there, but it's not an indescribable gift. You could describe that. For us in BC, you might want to buy your loved one an umbrella. Here's an official alligator skin umbrella, $15,000. Not the one you want to leave behind somewhere, $15,000. That's an out there kind of gift. Another out there kind of gift, this is Chuck Taylor Converse. Believe it or not, these are not $50. These come in at $25,000. Apparently, a famous artist by the name of Nate Lohman, he did his artwork on these Converse runners, and so they come in at $25,000. Indescribable? No, but it's out there. Another outlandish gift, this is a a soother, a pacifier, diamond-studded pacifier for your baby, and that one comes in at, yes, $17,000. So there's gifts for your kids, there's gift for your wife, there's gift for, what about your dog? What's a good gift for your dog? Well, here's a wonderful dog collar, diamond-studded. This one, folks, comes in at $3.2 million. Those are crazy gifts for sure. They're way out there. But they pale in comparison, as indescribable as they might be. God said, I have an indescribable gift for you. Nothing that could be bought with what the world has to offer. It's God's amazing love that bought and gave his son for us, an indescribable gift. You know, really, when you think about a giver, it really describes the way that person is. It's a description of the giver. The way you give a gift, the way the gift is given is a reflection of the giver. And if you study the way people give, some people are the regifters. Maybe you know people that regift gifts. There's that type of a giver. There's the people that just don't give gift. That's another group of givers. There's those that buy all gifts all year long, and they just are always buying gifts and putting them in a way. And then when Christmas comes, they got all their gifts already bought. That's not the way I buy my gifts. I like to wait right up until Christmas, and then I'm getting my gifts. And then there's the one-stop shop giver. I don't know if you've ever met one of them. They buy all their gifts at one store. They'll go to Costco, or maybe they go to London Drugs, and they buy all their gifts there. You know, yes, lucky you. You got the 1,000-pack of vitamin C, and somebody else got, you know, a giant toothbrush or whatever it is, but they all buy their gifts at one store. That's another type of giver. And then there's the one-up giver, and this is a person who always wants to one-up you when you give them something. So if you give them a candle, they'll say, oh, nice candle, I bought you an iPad. So that's the one-up giver. And then there's also the for a favor giver. This is the person who gives a gift, and they expect a favor in return, because I remember I gave you a gift. And then there's the way God gives. His indescribable gift is given with grace. What a difference. This great gift is given with grace. Calvin Coolidge said this: no person was ever honored for what he received. He was honored for what he gave. It's a good quote. No person was ever honored for what he received. He was honored for what he gave. That's why we give God honor at Christmas time, for what he gave. It's an indescribable gift. It's also, again, a reflection of the giver. Every gift is a reflection of the giver. In Ephesians 2, verse 4, it says, but God, who is rich in mercy. Rich in mercy. Why did he give? Not some kind of a weird motive, but because of his rich mercy, because of his grace, because of his great love with which he loved us. That's how he gave. It's a reflection of who he is, a reflection of his incredible love for us. The song says, O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that mourns in lonely exile there, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. You know, this is a song that's not sung like Joy to the World. Joy to the World's got kind of this upbeat. Christmas carols are often got this nice upbeat melody to them. But when you come to O come, Emmanuel, it's more yearning, it's longing, it's almost this expectations in this song, because it was a reflection of Emmanuel, come. We're so hungry for you to come. And of course, Emmanuel does come. But in this song, you get the reflection of a people that was thinking of, oh, come, Emmanuel. Come be with us. And really, that's what Emmanuel means. It means God is with us. And in Matthew chapter 21, 23, Emmanuel, again, means God with us. We read here, this is one of the verses where the song comes from, and she will bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. So all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, Behold, the virgin shall be with child, and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which is translated God with us. Emmanuel, we hear that word a lot at Christmas time, and it means God is with us. Boy, of all the things we need God with us. That, my friends, is an indescribable gift. When we were in Egypt this past fall, we had the privilege of meeting with a very well-known Coptic bishop, Bishop Thomas, and when we were in his home, he was sharing, and he was talking about what it would be like to go through a valley, a dark valley, even a valley where there's fear, and just like going down a back alley. And he said, what would you want if you were walking down a dark back alley? Would you want a flashlight? Would you want to have maybe a gun to go with you? Would you want some type of protection? What would you want if you walked down a back alley? And he said he was sharing the story with some children, and he said, what would you want? And they said, I would want my daddy's hand more than a flashlight, more than a club, more than something to protect myself. I would want my daddy to be with me. What an indescribable gift is God is with us. You know, when we're lonely, He is with us. When we are going through, and Christmas can be a time where everything gets amplified, magnified. At Christmas time, we can have an empty chair in our kitchen table. We could have a memory of a loved one who's gone home to be with the Lord this year. And there's lots of emotions that'll flood in. And we can know that He is with us. If we're sick, we know that He's with us as our healer. If we're discouraged, we know that He's with us as our encourager. If we feel weak, God's with us as our strength. God is with us. What a great promise. And this is what this song is talking about. O come, Emmanuel. It was a song that was yearning for God to be with them. This is the greatest truth, perhaps, of the entire New Testament, is that God would come and be with us. Jesus said, I'm going to go to the Father, but I have a promise for you. Don't be afraid, children. Don't be afraid, because I will send the Comforter, and He will be with you. See, the Spirit of Christ is with us. He's with us when we're writing an exam. You know, sometimes we get at the last moment, we say, okay, God, go with me. I got to write my exam. God is with us. He would like us to study. That's our role. God is with us. Maybe we're going in for an interview. God is with you in the interview. Maybe you're going to travel. You're going on a trip, and you say, okay, God, be with me. God is with us. Years ago, when I was working for a company doing chemical sales, and my particular division had taken off, God had blessed it so much. It was almost embarrassing. And we were doing our review in Calgary, and the different teams were presenting their districts, and I got up to share what was happening in my district, and the numbers were, like I said, they were embarrassingly good. And I sat down after I'd given my report, and one of the guys put his hand up, and he said to the manager, he said, it's not fair. And he said, what do you mean it's not fair? It's not fair. What Koop has is not fair. And the manager said, what do you mean? What does he have that's not fair? And he said, he's got the big guy on his side. And you know what? God was with me. And God is with us. And the world might look and say, it's not fair. Because God is with us. Wow. He said, I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. That's good news. No wonder we say the gospel message is good news. Jesus came as a babe in a manger, lived amongst us, never sinned, lived a spotless life, died for our sins, rose again, and then poured out His Spirit upon us and said, I will be with you. Wow, that is incredible good news. He is with us. In the movie, It's a Wonderful Life, perhaps a movie that we all watch at Christmas time, there's a scene that really captivates me. It's when the star of the show is struggling. George is praying, and he gets to that place because he's been rejected. He's at the end of his rope. He needs somebody to be with him. And I think we've all been there. And his prayer is, dear God, dear Father, if there's a Father in heaven, I need you right now. I need you to be with me. And of course, you know the rest of the story. But I want to take a moment to play you this clip because it really reflects the meaning of Christmas, that God is with us in our deepest struggles. He's there. So let's go ahead and watch this clip, and we'll come back and wrap up this message.
And you asked me to lend you $8,000. Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. What are you but a warped, frustrated young man? Miserable little clerk crawling in here on your hands and knees and begging for help. No securities, no stocks, no bonds, nothing but a miserable little $500 equity and a life insurance policy. You're worth more dead than alive. Why don't you go to the riffraff you love so much and ask them to let you have $8,000? You know why? Because they'd run you out of town on a rail. But I tell you what I'm going to do for you, George, since the state examiner is still here. As a stockholder of the building and loan, I'm going to swear out a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriation of funds, manipulation, malfeasance. All right, George, go ahead. Go. You can't hide in a little town like this. Bill, this is Potter.
Yeah, Merry Christmas! Glad you come. How about some of that good spaghetti? We got everything. God. Oh, God. Dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope, right? Show me the way, oh God.
Are you all right, George? Want somebody to take you home, huh?
Why you drink so much, my friend? Please go home, Mr. Bailey. This is Christmas Eve.
Mr. Bailey, George, he's at the end of his rope. And, you know, sometimes we feel that way ourselves. We feel like we're at the end of the rope. And we're just like, God, if you're there, I need you right now. What an indescribable gift that God would be with us when we feel like we're at the end of our rope. You know, this song, O Come, Emmanuel, it's about God, you're with us. And we need God in our broken world. There's times our lives are broken. There's situations where we need God to be with us. He's with us whether we feel Him or not. He's there with us. You know, we said at the beginning of this message that Christmas is about an indescribable gift. God with us, Emmanuel. We said that every gift is a reflection of the giver. It's a reflection of their personality. It's a reflection of their resources. A gift is a reflection of somebody's time, of their commitment, of their sacrifice. It's a commitment of how much they love you. When you get gifts this year from other people, it's a reflection of the giver. Well, this gift, this indescribable gift of a child given to us, like Isaiah said, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. What an indescribable gift that was given to us. Of God was going to be with us. It's a reflection of God's immense love for us. And then, of course, Emmanuel means God with us, never leaving us, never forsaking us. And we may feel like we're at the end of our rope. We may feel like we need it in a time of loneliness. We may need Him in a time when we're fighting sickness. We may need God in a time of, God, I don't know how I'm going to pay the rent. I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet. God is with us. This is a time of the year where we put our faith in Him. We're going to be going into 2016. There's an old saying, the way you leave is the way you enter. And as you get ready to go into 2016, I want you to know something. God is with you. There's all kinds of storm clouds, perhaps on the horizon worldwide, maybe even in your own personal life. But I've got good news for you. God is with you. He'll never leave you. He'll never forsake you. Others may turn their back on you, but there is a God who said, I will be with you. He gave us His Spirit to live, dwell within us, and He's promised to go with us. Oh, come, Emmanuel. He's with us. I'm going to invite our campus pastors to come up, and they're going to be sharing a prayer with you and a couple other thoughts on how God is with us as we go into this new year. So this time I'm going to invite them forward. They're going to be praying with you and wrapping up our service.